with a WWE brand officially shutting down and more. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for August 18th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Speaking about his time on NXT under Triple H and his transition to the main roster, Tommaso Ciampa revealed on Out of Character that he did not change anything for Vince McMahon or the game. That is what I did in NXT with Triple H and it worked. I wasn't going to switch the formula for Vince, and now that it is back to Hunter, I'm not going to switch the formula for Hunter. If you want me to change or do something different, sure, let's have a conversation about it. There is way less pressure when your goal is to just want to be better. There's no pressure in that. What do you got to do to get better? You've got to show up and do the work. For me, it doesn't matter who is in charge. I'm just going to show up and do the work. Talking about the Night of Vengeance 2001 where he defeated The Rock and Steve Austin back-to-back to win the undisputed WWE title, Chris Jericho said on the Swerve City podcast that he became champ too early. Timing really is everything. I try to tell some of our younger guys this: you can't have it all. It takes time. It takes time for the story to be right. It takes time for the audience to be intrigued and hooked by it. Also, it takes time as a performer. You look back to when I was undisputed champion. Oh, you beat The Rock and Steve Austin. Was I really ready for that? It was as good a time as any, but it wasn't like if it was now. It was the first taste of being a main event guy, a champion, but I wasn't really the champion. I wasn't the top guy in the company. That didn't happen until 2008. It was too early for me, but I was the best guy for the job when Triple H was hurt, but it wasn't killer. On Busted Open Radio, AEW president Tony Khan, who was a big fan of ECW growing up, mentioned how many people compare him to Paul Heyman. Personally, I have people come up to me and say, as far as being a fan who was around pro wrestling and wrestlers for a long time, and then jumped into the business, the person I think I get compared to most often of, you remind me of this person, I think we're really different people, and I haven't talked to him or gotten to see him in a really long time, is Paul. Paul Heyman, not the other Paul. I grew up on that ECW stuff. Our products are different. He's a genius, and I'm not trying to compare the mindset at all. But as far as trying to keep your finger on the pulse of fans during a commercial break, even going out and talking to fans and trying to keep them excited during the show, it means a lot to me. I've gotten to learn a lot from a lot of people in the wrestling business without having that official apprenticeship. I love the business so much. These comments apparently had many in the WWE laughing it up, as Ringside News wrote. Tony Khan caught a lot of attention when he said that people compare him to Paul Heyman. We have been told that he got a very good laugh within WWE over that comment. It doesn't seem that anyone in WWE took that comment seriously, and they used the opportunity to drag him a bit. Speaking about how Monday Night Raw could have an advantage over AEW Dynamite, Booker T mentioned the longer runtime affecting things on his Hall of Fame podcast. Think about this, which is a little different than AEW. The Monday Night show is 3 hours. You got to have a lot going on to feel those 3 hours. You need a little more flexibility to be able to use different talent as opposed to trying to use all the same talent to fill the same 3 hours. I think it's really beneficial. That's the way I look at it. Following AEW Dynamite, where he made his return after more than a year out of action, Kenny Omega was in the middle of the ring cutting a promo for fans in attendance where he seemed to break character. Here's the clip.
And maybe I should be mad too. Maybe I should be mad too, because the reason why I'm in this state right now, the reason why I have to have 3, sometimes 4 sessions of physical rehab every single day is because of you. Maybe I should hate each and every one of you because I come back out here for you guys. It's better for me. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to be a little strange. I don't get out much, so I became a strange individual. I'm going to liken you fans to a very mischievous cat that pees and poops all over the house. Boy, do I get mad when I find it. boy, do I get mad because I have to clean it. But heck, how can I hate a little kitty cat? So on TV, I may blame you guys. I may hold resentment towards you guys. But perhaps, deep down inside, as long as this never gets aired, I do very much appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Talking about WWE's upcoming Clash at the Castle event in Cardiff, Wales, Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that they mentioned that with Cardiff, not only are they getting ticket revenue, but the city of Cardiff is actually paying for them to come in, which is probably why they went to Cardiff and not London. And they're working on, for the biggest shows of the year, to do what they do for WrestleMania, which is essentially to put them up for bidding from cities. So say you want SummerSlam, say you want Royal Rumble, instead of WWE going to Houston, Texas, because they feel it's a market they can sell 30,000 to 40,000 tickets at the stadium. It will be going still to a stadium, but they want the city to pay them to bring them in because they're bringing tourism and things like that to the city. So the idea is for the big shows going forward, this is their attempt and what they're going to try to do. On the sessions, Diamond Dallas Page revealed that he was offered a spot to wrestle in Ric Flair's final match from StarCast, but ultimately turned it down as he said, "Ric Flair actually called me and asked me if I would be in the match with him and do a six-man. At first, he said, 'How old are you?' I said 66. He said, 'I've seen you. You're in great shape. I really would love to have you in this match.' I said, 'Rick, I can't do it. I feel so good. I can't take a chance of hurting myself.' He said, 'I feel great.' I said, 'You're not from this planet.' That's when he talked me into doing the roast." On his Click This podcast, WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Nash spoke about Triple H previously being away from NXT and having Vince McMahon and company take over the brand and undo all the work the game put in. You have to meet his mother and father. His mother and father are like salt of the earth, two of the nicest human beings on the planet. His socialization process is as close to Leave It to Beaver as probably you could have. I guess when you don't go through life with a backpack full of baggage, I think that maybe life's a little bit, he just didn't have baggage. It was strange, because I've just never been around anybody with no vices. Like, wow, like, you're really talented. You cut a good promo, you're vegan, you're funny, you don't miss a workout, and you don't have any vices. He's got an eye for talent, that's for sure. Look at the people that he's kind of handpicked and pushed up on the WWE product on Raw. Every time one of them went up there, man, it was just like, how quick can we dismantle what got him over and mess this dude up? It was just like when he got sick, when he had the heart episode. They couldn't get down there and dismantle what he built in NXT quick enough. I thought that was messed up, man. With it previously said that the NXT UK roster was feeling uneasy over television tapings being cancelled, Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio this about the situation. There are many people in NXT UK who are presuming that it's not long for the world. There are people in NXT that are presuming with Blair Davenport being back. There are a couple of other people on their way on. NXT UK has cancelled next year's tapings. There are all these signs, but WWE has not announced anything officially. Nobody's been told, oh no, you don't need to worry. So the people in the UK who were not called into the United States are very worried. Now, it seems the end of NXT UK is here, as Shawn Michaels revealed to Fox News Digital that NXT UK will go on hiatus for the company to focus on NXT Europe. Given the success of NXT UK, we felt like it was time to expand beyond that. So some of it, like everything with the WWE and NXT, that pipeline is always fluid. It's going to be one of those situations where we're going to have a lot of representation going into Worlds Collide. It's what NXT has always been, and that is to be a pipeline for the WWE in support of Raw and SmackDown. That process is going to continue. We're going to use the UK talent that we can to go into Worlds Collide, and keep that representation out there for as long as we can. And as we move things over here in the process, we'll make all those decisions in 2023 about who's a part of NXT Europe and who continues to stay here in NXT in hopes of getting a main roster call-up. Under Vince McMahon, and WWE stars signed to the company as talent were prevented from streaming using their WWE names and, in some cases, prevented from streaming entirely. This was all part of WWE's so-called third-party platform ban, preventing stars from streaming on platforms such as Twitch. Now it seems that policy has been upended as WWE star Drew Gulak took to Twitter to announce, "Yes, I am streaming on Twitch again. Thank you, Papa H. Also, my cousin is here with me still, and he insisted, please come ask him questions." Going back to the topic of NXT UK going on hiatus, it seems many stars from the brand have been let go. Mark Andrews took to Twitter to write, "After 6 great years with WWE, my time with the company has now come to an end. Excited to see what's next." Wild Boar would confirm his release, writing, "As of today, I am no longer under contract with WWE. It's been a wild experience and I'm thankful for everything it's afforded me. I'm excited for what's next and I am buzzing to get back in that ring and go." Flash Morgan Webster wrote, "As of today, WWE and I have come to terms with the terms of my release. I want to thank them for all the opportunities they gave me over the last 5 years and looking after me through injury. Excited to see what's next. See y'all soon." Millie McKenzie would say, "Thanks for the memories, WWE." Jack Starr said, "Grateful. Thank you, WWE. Until we meet again." Dave Mastiff would also react with a GIF. Triple H would even provide a statement. "The growth of NXT to include all of Europe will not only bring diversity and opportunity to in-ring competition, but also recruitment and development of athletes from around the world. WWE wants the best from around the globe." Despite making an appearance for AEW Dynamite this week, CM Punk considered not showing up to the show and possibly even threatened to quit. While he is scheduled to face Jon Moxley to unify the AEW World title, Fightful has reported that sources familiar with the situation claim that Punk has often verbally expressed his displeasure, including recently so blatantly that they thought he might end up quitting the company. It was added that, "We haven't been given any indication that he plans on leaving AEW, but one veteran said they have heard of threats being levied." Punk, during his promo, would call out Hangman Page, who he previously faced earlier in the year, and Page did not show up. This was seen as a shot at Page from Punk, as it was reported that Punk defeated Hangman Page at AEW Double or Nothing earlier this year before being forced away from the ring for several months. Before that, however, there was word that Punk and Hangman Page didn't see eye to eye on some promo material that emerged on an episode of Dynamite that built their match. Fightful has been told that it was to the point that Punk met with AEW higher-ups about the context of Hangman Page's promo. Voices of Wrestling had noted that they'd heard that Punk had told others after the meeting in May that he wouldn't lose to Hangman Page. The belief among several on the roster we spoke to was that Punk believed Hangman went into business for himself leading into their Double or Nothing match, and that Punk may have seen the August 17th promo as a receipt. It's important to note that was locker room speculation as opposed to Punk telling anyone that directly. From Punk's end of things, the Hangman promo had alluded to Punk's issues with Colt Cabana, and happened during a week where Punk wasn't at the show, while Punk's shot at Hangman happened with Hangman present. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.